Hello, my name is Michael McCarthy, and today I'd like to talk to you about the newly formed Opportunity Zone program. Before I really get into the details of the Opportunity Zone program, I want to explain why I think New Jersey is in probably the best position to take advantage of the Opportunity Zone program specifically for investors. So, New Jersey is uniquely positioned to offer investors high upside because of the different kinds of options that are available in New Jersey. New Jersey is a very densely populated area. There's already great retail opportunities, industrial opportunities, everything that you'd expect from one of the most globalized markets in the world. Close proximity to New York, easy access into New York, just a really great location geographically. One of the most surprising things for me was the number of opportunity zones in counties that are already doing very well. So if you think of Morris County, Bergen County, these are two of the richest counties in the country. They both rank in the top 100th of 1%. You heard that right, 100th of 1%. It's a crazy number in terms of median household income, and anyone who lives in the area or has been to northern New Jersey knows exactly what I'm talking about. You have some extreme highway traffic leading into the city. The last thing I'd like to mention is that if you own a building in New Jersey and would like to know if your property is in the Opportunity Zone, give me a call or email me directly. It's a simple process. I'll be able to look it up for you during the amount of time that we're on a call, and then I can give you my free opinion of value after I run quick market analysis. If you need my number or my email, it's going to be on every slide, so just take it down and reach out to me. Equity 3 will be able to help you out along the way. So the Opportunity Zone program was created by the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Once this was signed into law, it gave governors the power to designate up to, I think, 25 or 30% of the low-income communities throughout their state as an opportunity zone. Some people, when they hear low-income community, they get a little upset that their property may be in there. But right now, we think even if you're in that situation, the increased amount of eyeballs and traffic and potential offers is going to hopefully raise the price of your building. And this is also a great time to reposition yourself in the market. The Opportunity Zone program was designed to attract large net worth investors and bring them into the low-income communities that they may not otherwise be a part of or they may not want to invest in. I heard a number that was out there. There's some $6 trillion, I think that's the number, of capital gains that are just sitting there on the stock market in buildings. It's a crazy number. So the government's trying to give these people good reasons to come back and bring their money back into play. So in order to fully take advantage of the Opportunity Zone program, you need to use unrealized capital gains for the large tax incentives. I'll explain those tax incentives in a couple of slides. So one unique thing about this, as opposed to other real estate transactions, like I've heard people talk about 1031s a lot when discussing the Opportunity Zone program, the biggest difference is that you can take unrealized capital gains from the sale of any asset class. And I'm saying any because that's currently what the common belief is. There is additional guidance coming out. But you can take money off the stock market and put it into a building while getting tax incentives. So it's a great opportunity for people who are traditionally on the stock market and maybe want to get into commercial real estate for the first time. The Opportunity Zone program also applies to residential, but the best properties for investors are probably commercial. As I mentioned, this is similar to a 1031, but it's more flexible because of the kinds of assets you can bring into a property. The other portion of the flexibility is that you don't have to invest 100% of your previous investment. When you're doing a 1031, you need to bring all that money into your new property. It just allows investors to have more options when they're trying to decide their financial future. That's one thing that we really focus on at Equity 3 is making sure our investors are doing what's best for them. If they need some kind of consulting or advice, we will either advise them ourselves or we have accountants that we know very well who would be able to help out. So let's get more into the details, the tax incentives. This is really what the most important part is for the Opportunity Zone program. There's additional guidance coming out from the IRS that's really going to make or break the program. I personally think it'll be great for investors, but hopefully the IRS releases good numbers and makes it easy for investors to use this program. So first up, we have the temporary deferral of capital gains. So as I mentioned, you're going to sell off stocks or a building, and you take that money and invest it into an opportunity fund. This will allow you to defer paying taxes on that up until December 31st, 2026. If you hold on to the property that you invest into with the opportunity fund for 5 years, you get a 10% step up in basis. After 7 years, you gain an additional 5%. It's not another 15%, it's an additional 5%. And then after 10 years, you get a permanent exclusion of gains earned on the opportunity fund. And this is really what separates the opportunity fund from other programs that the government has tried. And at this point, I'd like to thank EIG. They've done a lot of great work on the Opportunity Zone program. They were a part of the congressional hearing. If you do need to dive into it a little more, obviously you can call me, you can email me. I'll give you as much information as I can, but one of my main sources is EIG. They really do a great job. Here's a theoretical timeline for the Opportunity Fund. So let's say we sell off a building or some stocks in 2018, reinvest the unrealized capital gains into a qualified opportunity fund, take the opportunity fund, invest that into an Opportunity Zone property. I'll explain that in a little more detail soon. And then you need to self-certify. And all you're doing with the self-certification is filling out a form and attaching it to your tax return. No big deal. Year 5, we're going to get the first step up in basis. Year 7, you're going to get the 15% step up in basis. And the reason I mentioned that it should be around 2026 is because, again, this is where you need to actually realize your capital gains from the original investment. And then in year 10, permanent exclusion on capital gains earned on the opportunity fund. So what is an opportunity fund? An opportunity fund is primarily an investment vehicle. You're going to need to do a couple of things when you're setting up your opportunity fund and self-certify. We can help you in that process. It's really not difficult. One thing to keep in mind is that 90% of the assets in the opportunity fund need to be invested into a qualified Opportunity Zone property. Opportunity funds aren't limited to investing into real estate. You can invest into a business, into equipment, into real property. So this is going to help out with the substantial improvement test somewhere down the road. This is an important quote from EIG that I have used when discussing this with potential investors. Funds can also invest directly in qualifying properties such as real estate or infrastructure if the property is used in the active conduct of a business and if either the original use of the property commences with the fund or the fund substantially improves the property. Treasury has yet to release guidance on the substantial improvement test. Depending on how you read the sentence, you can say the original use of the property commences with the fund. I'm good to go. I don't need to improve the property. Or the fund substantially improves the property. So you need to satisfy one of those requirements. Some people think that you need to do both. Personally, I'm in the camp where you need to do one or the other. You could do both, but I think it's one or the other. Again, once the Treasury releases additional guidance, we'll have a more clear understanding of what they expect from investors. Another unique thing about opportunity funds is that they can invest into multiple opportunity zones. So if you want to invest a little bit of your money into Morris County, a little into Bergen County, some into Passaic County, Hudson County, you can do that. You're not restricted on which opportunity zones you can invest into with one opportunity fund. You can also create several opportunity funds. You can create more than one. Another interesting dimension of this is that you can invest non-gained monies into the opportunity fund. I'm not sure how the tax incentives apply to that. We need to wait on guidance before we make any definitive statements, but it's an interesting dimension of the opportunity fund, to say the least. If you have any commercial real estate needs, Equity 3 is a place to go to. We are uniquely positioned to help you with anything you need in commercial real estate. If you're a buyer, a seller, if you just want to know what the value of your property is, we can run searches for you. This was Michael McCarthy from Equity Real Estate. You can reach me at 201-261-4300, extension 116, or you can email me at mmccarthy@equity3re equity3re.com. Thanks for watching.